I've never liked waking up. Not that I don't enjoy the thrills and perils of life. I just live a much more exciting existence in my dreams. It's kind of sick, but I'm someone who gets bored and likes the darker intricacies of life. It wasn't until middle school, discussing dreams with my peers, that I realized my dreams are different from everyone else's. Kids would talk about dreaming of their favorite TV shows or about a magical land where candy grew from the ground and rain from the heavens. If only I could be so lucky. For my whole life, the entire 22 years, my dreams start with me waking up in a stranger's bed. I have their memories, I know their deepest secrets and their strongest desires. It's never the same experience. Sure, sometimes there are similarities, but I've never woken up as the same person more than once. It's always a new face with new lines and marks and shapes. In every dream, for as long as I can remember, I live someone's last day for them. The death is usually an accident or sickness of some kind. The murderers never fail to throw me off my day. I've died experiencing mass shootings, acts of terrorism, and gruesome, painful torture. The ones that stick with me the most, though, are the suicides. Feeling the things that these people feel, I couldn't describe. The utter disgust with life or with themselves, the feeling of hopelessness and gut-wrenching dread of having to carry on living with this selfish fight-or-die reality. I couldn't tell you about the afterlife, though, only the fear or the calm or the relief of death. My parents thought I was overly imaginative and took me to several facilities and friendly doctors, but nothing ever helped, and I later lied and told them that the dream stopped. Even my twin brother thought I was lying for attention our whole lives, so I let him believe the dreams had stopped too. That was always hard, to have my own family not believe me, but I've never went into depth about it because there was always this nagging feeling that I wasn't supposed to talk about it or intervene after the event. There was one time I looked up the name of the mother who had died, not telling her kids the major family secret of who their real father was, and every effort to contact them wound up with a message not sent error or a dial tone. Last night's dream was a first. I woke up in a familiar room, and for once, I thought I had slept through the night without having to mentally cleanse myself in my morning meditation. The walls were that familiar Easter yellow color. The windows shone a familiar light across the ceiling from the streetlight below. I realized it was still night, not more than an hour after falling asleep, watching some YouTube video or another. But my laptop was gone, and the blanket different than the one I've had since childhood. The unfamiliar long hair that swept across my face is what stuck the realization that it was in fact another day in the life and death of a stranger. That's when it hit. A feeling of misery and hate that I could only imagine an evil dictator ever having felt before. I got up from the bed to see that this room was identical to mine, except for the posters of bands I'd never heard of and laundry strewn about the floor. This person lives in the same dorm as me. I walked to the mirror attached to the closet door located across from the bed, and looking into it, the feeling of unbearable pain struck again, only harder this time. This person, although not ugly in the slightest, had the strongest hatred for their body. Her hair was straight, brown, and swept across her pale face. I brushed the hair from my face, and the image reflected was enough to send me back into my bed frame, which struck my tailbone with enough force to send me tumbling into the pile of dirty laundry. It was my twin brother's girlfriend. The one he planned on proposing to at our graduation. The one who had pulled him out of addiction and into classes at this very campus. My heart sank and the sobbing convulsions took over. The mixture of her depression combined with the reality of the situation hit like a boulder rolling off a cliff. I reviewed her memories, looking for the root of all this evil inside of her, but there was no clear start. Then I saw the plan like a file in the cabinet of the back of her mind. A gun. In her trunk, stolen from her father's ranch. The route to a secluded location in the middle of the forest about 10 miles from campus. This couldn't happen. There must be some kind of mistake. I've never been someone I know. It was always someone I've never seen in a place I've never been. Though many times I've tried, I could never change fate. No matter what I would do as that person, their thoughts and emotions and physical situation would always lead me to death's door. Not this time. I went to the medicine cabinet looking for some kind of sleep medicine. The closest match was a packet of Benadryl. I took the remaining 4 pills before the thought of running to the car and taking Dad's rifle from under the mat where the spare tire is located took over. I forced myself into the closet, tipping the dresser across the tiny room just before shutting the door, barricading myself in. Against my will, her body fought against the door, trying to open it and screamed against it. Luckily for me, the dorm was always alive with some loud party or another. After about 20 minutes, she tired out and slumped to the floor in exasperation, crying hysterically. After another hour of crying into dry heaves, I felt her eyelids get heavy. And then the music from the stream of sleep meditation music filled my head, and I woke up to the familiar blue glow of my laptop creating a puke green hue against the yellow walls. And then a message sound resounded from the open Facebook tab. A nameless, faceless profile sent one phrase. Your actions will have consequences. I've been lying awake since 4:30 this morning thinking of what to do. I'm already late to class, so I'll just skip for the day. I graduate in 3 days anyways. I want to go to her room just a floor and a few doors down from my own room and take her to the hospital. I don't know what I'll tell my brother. He's never believed my dreams were anything more than dreams. I could only imagine what consequences there could be, or who the hell messaged me. I'll post an update tonight. Any suggestions on what to do would help tremendously.